Hello and welcome to another episode of my Productivity Mastery series. My name is Carl Pauline and this week I'm answering the question, where do our long-term goals come from? Or rather, how to find your long-term goals. Now let's start at the very basic level. Your long-term goals essentially come from your experience and your imagination. So when your experience comes face to face with your imagination, that's where your long-term goals will come from. So let me give you a really simple example. If you were to watch the movie Mamma Mia and you see that gorgeous villa that is featured in the movie, and you think, maybe one day I would love to own a villa like this, then that's where your imagination plus your experience are coming face to face. Now we have a problem, because you will then have a third element that comes into play, and that element is your current identity, the way you see yourself or how you see yourself. So again, if I give you an example, if you see yourself as a city office worker, the thought of leaving the city, leaving your nice office job and moving to a Greek island to run a hotel, your brain is just going to go, no way, not going to happen. No, that's not you. That's not what you do. Now that's a problem, because that actually is what people would call, or what I would call, a limiting belief. Because sure, maybe you don't want to own a villa, maybe you don't want to own a hotel, but maybe your imagination is saying, well, wouldn't it be nice to live by the beach? Wouldn't it be nice to be able to work a bit more remotely, just have a nice property by the beach? Then if your identity is saying, no, I'm an office worker, I live in an apartment building in the city, that's where I work, then you're not going to allow your imagination to take those experiences and turn them into possible long-term goals. Now I'm focusing here on a material thing, owning something. But let's take your health and fitness. Let's imagine that you're a few pounds overweight. You've been warned by your doctor that you're heading towards type 2 diabetes. But maybe you identify, you're saying, well, that's who I am. I've always been like this. This is who I am. Well, I can guarantee you're not going to lose any weight. But let's imagine again, you see somebody or you have a hero or something like that, and you go, wow, wouldn't it be nice to be like them? Now, there's nothing wrong with that. This is, maybe you could call it comparison, but that's where a lot of our inspiration comes from. That's experience side of the equation. When you apply that to your imagination, now you might have a vision of who you would like to be. And this kind of ties in to the 5 questions exercise that I do in my Time and Life Mastery course, because there are 5 questions that are going to open up your mind. When you allow your experience and your imagination to work together, this is how your long-term goals are formed, because it's those experiences that light you up. And then your imagination starts to give you, well, maybe I can do that. And perhaps if I do that, then this is what's going to happen in my life. Now, the problem most people face is when they have something that they see that they want to do, their immediate reaction is to come up with all the reasons why they personally cannot achieve it. Now, the theory is, and it's actually true in practice, is if somebody else can do it, there's very little reason why you couldn't find a way to do it yourself. There is a blueprint. If somebody else has already done it, then there is a blueprint out there as to how to achieve it. Now, of course, you may need additional resources, and that's, the lack of resources is the source of our excuses. I don't have enough money, I don't have enough time, I don't have the right qualifications, I'm the wrong age. All these things are excuses. They can, if you turn those lack of resources and become resourceful, that's when you start seeing ways around all those obstacles. But let's get back to these 5 important questions. These questions are designed to really light you up and to get your imagination working, because when your imagination plus your experience work together, that's where your long-term goals will come from. And those 5 questions are: what do I want to do? Now, this could be related to a hobby, it could be related to a career, it could be related to anything that you would actually want to do with your time. The second question is, who do I want to be? Now, this relates to your identity. You have an identity as to who you are today, and your natural human instinct is to stay within those boundaries of how you see yourself, how you see your identity. In order to change, in order to reach long-term goals, you have to change your identity, and that is really, really tough. And we haven't got time to go into how to do that today, but it's a really tough ask. But here we are talking about long-term goals. We're not talking about you changing right now. What we're doing is changing over a period of time so that you can actually become the person you need to be in order to achieve the things that you want to do. Next up, the third question: what do you want to see? Now, this could be, I want to see the pyramids, I want to see the Northern Lights, I want to see the Serengeti in Africa. These are the things that you want to see, and there's something that you want to see. I want to see, and I also want to go to a place called GoldenEye in Jamaica, off the northern coast of Jamaica. This is where James Bond books were written. It's been on my bucket list for a long time. It is also a long-term goal, because to stay at the GoldenEye resort is not cheap. It's very expensive, but it is something that I will do. It's a long-term goal. Next up is, what do you want to have? And this is the material thing. Maybe you want to have a luxury villa. Maybe you want to have a luxury car. Maybe you want to have a dog. There's all sorts of things. Maybe you want to have a family, depending on what age you are. So there are things that we want. Often the want question is related to the material things that you want. And there's nothing wrong with wanting material things. After all, if you work hard and you save your money, why not spend it on yourself sometimes? And the fifth and final question is, where do you want to go? And again, this could be related to what do you want to see, but wanting to go somewhere. I would like to go to Moscow. I would like to go to Jamaica. I would like to go to the Bahamas. I'd like to go to Sweden. You know, there are places that I would like to go. And again, some of these might be possible to do right now. Others may need a bit more time to build up the resources in order to do it. But these 5 questions are designed to open up your imagination and to get you thinking more positively about what you would like to do. So if you ever feel stuck about long-term goals, and I do talk about long-term goals are the foundations of where your whole productivity system comes together. So the foundations, it's built on your long-term goals, your desires, your wishes, the things that you want to have in your life. Then start here. Let your mind and your imagination work with your experience to come up with a set of ideas. And the way to do this is to open up your notes app, whatever notes app you're using. Put these 5 questions as headers, as subheaders. So what do you want to do? Who do you want to be? What do you want to see? What do you want to have? And where do you want to go? Those 5 questions. Put them down as subheadings, and then over a few days, maybe a few weeks, just let your imagination run wild. Sure, there'll be things that you may not think are realistic, but you want to be asking yourself, well, why are they not realistic? Do I want to do them? This is about what you want. That's where your long-term goals come from. Hopefully that helps you a lot if you're struggling to develop some long-term goals. At least that's going to get you started on that journey, and you'll come up with maybe 3 or 4, maybe 5 long-term goals that you can start taking action on. But that's for another video. Thank you very much for watching this episode, and it just remains for me now to wish you all a very, very productive week. Well, thank you very much for watching this video. Now, I would just like to say, if you are ready to decide what you want out of your life the next 10, 20, 30 years, and you want to be able to take that and build it into your daily life, then I have a course that's going to help you do exactly that. The Time and Life Mastery 2021 edition will take you through the process of deciding what you want for your life, and then it will show you how to build that into your daily life using the time sector system. So I hope you join this course. It's an amazing course and I know you will not be disappointed, and I would really like to see you there. I'm here to help you to develop the best life you possibly can through becoming better organized and more productive, and that is what this course will show you what to do. Please join me in that course. Full details are in the details below.